So after 3 weeks of waiting, we finally have an episode of One Piece 924, and man, it turned into Jurassic World in this episode. And I will say I was curious about how this episode was going to be structured. So we're going to get the Sanji versus Page One fight next episode. So I'm grateful about that. I'm wondering what else they're going to add. Off with Big Mom, with to be honest, some reused shots of the Big Mom pirates making their way up the waves of Wano, and they're using the koi fish. But because in the previous episode, Kaido was freaking out. He didn't want Big Mom on Wano. And this episode, he's what? Okay, we're gonna go to war, bitch. So you wanna come to Wano? You wanna come to my house? I'm gonna kill you. So they like try to blast the Big Mom ship. That doesn't do anything. They brought, I guess, the koi fish up the waterfall, so, kind of like the Straw Hats did. And the first thing she's after, she calls out for Zeus, so Nami's in possession of that, so that's going to be a plot point at some point. Give it, that's unless Big Mom is completely done after this episode, but I highly doubt that. The other thing she calls for Luffy, and I love how this is going on. You have the banquet with Orochi, like everybody's just having a good time, piling it up, not knowing that Big Mom is on her way to Wano, and if she gets there, Kaido said this is going to be hell. So the cannons that were shooting at the Big Mom ship were controlled by Queen, the other Calamity. Like he actually thought that was actually going to do something. So Queen was generally surprised with Big Mom and the ship turned out to be a-okay. We're going to get more glimpse into Queen's personality, I assure you. I also find it funny the moment she called Mugiwara Straw Hat. So she's got scores to settle with Luffy. We go over to Udon, and Luffy is just chilling, and he's thinking about his fight with Kaido, and he's getting pissed off. But then in comes Rizo, and before he can tell him anything else, he's like, "I have good news for you. It seems like Otama is okay," which is something that Luffy needed to hear ever since his fight with Kaido. That's the reason for his anger. Well, part of the reason, the other reason, because not knowing what happened to the rest of his crew. But that was the main source of Luffy's anger. Like what happens with Tama. So now he knows, so now I can get in gear. And I do find it odd that he could easily bust out there, but I think it's kind of obvious Luffy and Kid are going to use this opportunity to train, get stronger. Everybody's freaking out. Queen's freaking out. And then Kaido is the one that actually gets it together. It's like, quit panicking. Off goes King to do his thing. And this is interesting because we did not see this in the manga. He just came out of left field. He came out of nowhere in the manga and just did what he did to Big Mom's ship. So that was epic. I think I did like they're building the tension here, that the threat of Big Mom is possibly making it on. We haven't got introduced to their bounties yet, but we do get introduced to their abilities. I think they used a different OST for King in this. I'm not too sure. If you recognize that, let me know. I thought it was new. Which they did it for Kaido and they did it for Katakuri, so it made sense. They did it for another Calamity. It's kind of obvious he's the number one Calamity behind Kaido. So he goes in and they do extend it a little bit because they're actually shooting at King. In the manga, Big Mom just notices in his ancient form, in his zone form, and he transforms. We didn't see that in the manga, so that's pretty cool. And he goes in pterodactyl style and he just owns the hell out of that ship. All shocked by this, Big Mom actually jumps off the ship and she's about to attack or engage with King, but she slips on one of the koi fish and she literally sinks down to the ocean, to the sea. Now, what is that? The Emperor? I don't think so. And come on, it's a Yonko. I mean, it was a great entrance for King. His devil fruit looks very similar to like Marco in obvious, like his bounty and queens are going to be higher than Jack's because it just makes sense. So, technically speaking, are they going to be higher than Luffy's? Possibly, right? Sure, King is going to be the final opponent for Zoro in Wano, because Zoro does have trouble with his opponents that fly. So this would be a pretty good fight for Zoro. We see Frankie and Usopp now running, and they already know trouble's coming in with a Toby Robo. They're coming in because they're after Sangoro, they're after the Silver Store, they're kicking one of Kiyoshi's boys, so the hell out of there. They're bumping along Sanji, no matter what, because, okay, you're part of the Straw Hats, and Sanji's freaking out at Nami and Robin, but it's like, Law's like, no, because that's fine, but no matter what, even if you get caught, you can't blurt out anything about the minx or the samurai. You just can't. And I feel like Law is like, won't be the type to really give a shit about that, but there's more to it than just keeping a plan together. Law's pretty cool, calm, and collected when it comes to these type of things, but I think he kind of sympathizes with the Kazuki clan a little bit because of the trauma he went through. I don't know, I may be reading too much into that, but there's a comedy moment where Usopp is like, oh, you know what? You're not the boss of me. Luffy's my captain. So if I'm going to get caught, if I get caught, I'm just going to spill the beans on everything, which I hope that's a joke on the part of Usopp. But then I think he did it to trigger Sanji, to like get him to motivate. Over here's a girl in trouble, and you know how he is. We saw it in Punk Hazard with Tashigi, and here he just hears it. So then we see Page One coming in. He's just wrecking the sober stalls. One, the houses go flying, and he's doing this obviously to lure out Sanji, which Sanji just goes anyway. He goes in, lights up the Jamba, and just kicks the hell out of Page One. Keep in mind how fast he was. Remember what happened with Oven when he got undetected by Oven, where he saves Chiffon back on Whole Cake Island. So we know how fast Sanji is. So that was pretty cool. Problem is not really Page One seeing Sanji. It's Hawkins or Drake recognizing Sanji, and that's gonna provide the problem. So Sanji, he's like thinking about it, and he's like, you know what, screw it. As long as I don't get seen, it's good. It's all good, right? So he's about to use the raid suit, which I mean, who didn't see that one coming? Like, you don't give him like a raid suit unless you're not going to use it. So looks like we're going to get Sanji in the raid suit next episode. So that's going to be hype. It was spoiled in the opening anyway, so it's not much of a secret anymore. Say I'm kind of surprised at Oda, given what he did with this fight, most of this fight. I'm surprised he revealed it this soon. So my question is what are they gonna add anything when it comes to the anime? I doubt it, because if Oda wanted it to be shown, he would have shown it, or it would have mentioned something about the aftermath of the fight. He has not mentioned that at all. And Big Mom gets sent down to the ocean, which technically, do you think she's dead? I mean, come on. I mean, it was a hell of an entrance for King. Now Sanji finally about to use that raid suit and go ham on Wano. So I can't wait for that. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like this review if you did. Subscribe to for more One Piece. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.